Hello and welcome to this week's Rewind. I'm Elizabeth Paranum. If you've seen the show before, you know that we're taking another look at some of the very best documentaries we've made over the past decade here at Al Jazeera English. This week, we're rewinding back to 2011, when Al Jazeera's Witness series followed the remarkable story of a young Palestinian boy's emotional journey from sharing a bed with his grandmother and two brothers in a run-down Lebanese refugee camp to a place at Eton College, one of the most exclusive private schools in the UK. Founded more than 500 years ago by the English King Henry VI, its alumni include the rich and famous. Princes William and Harry were both educated there, as were 19 former UK Prime Ministers. Well, later, we'll be finding out what's become of Mohamad since he graduated from Eton College. But first, let's take a look at Mohamad at Eton from the Witness series back in 2011.
These are about Palestine. This is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is the olive tree. The Palestinian, as you know, is famous for its olive tree. This is represents the right of Palestinians to return to Palestine. And these are Palestinian.
Mohamad Fahed is a 16-year-old student at the Al-Aqsa School. It's funded by the UN because Palestinian refugees cannot attend Lebanese schools.
These are the scores of Mohamad Jalal Fahed. He is the first one in his class.
And if you notice, in physics, for example, he got 89.8 out of 100. And here 117 out of 120.
Mohamad may be bright, but as a refugee, his opportunities for further education and jobs are severely limited.
The conditions here are miserable. The people here suffer from many bad conditions. As you see, these roads need rehabilitation.
Mohamad's grandparents fled Palestine for Lebanon in 1948. The family now lives in Jim Jim village with other Palestinians.
This is my uncle's house down, yeah, and our house is upstairs. This is my mother, my grandmother.
فلسطين جنة كانت إلنا جنة بنحوش البطيخ هيك نحوش التين نحوش الصبر لما طلعنا من فلسطين فكرت يوم والثاني بدي أرجع جاية شمامتها وأخماني كله انقبر بلبنان.
This is my bedroom. I with my brothers and my grandmother. I sleep here on the bed. Also my grandmother here. My brothers here on the ground. Yeah. They are younger than me.
When he go, we can sleep in the bed. I love him too much. I will miss him when he go to England.
Mohamad has never left Lebanon, but he's about to embark on a life-changing journey, a fully funded sixth-form scholarship to Eton College in England.
This is a letter by the headmaster of Eton College that states the details of the Horizon Scholarship given to Mohamad. He says, "We were very happy to welcome Mohamad to Eton last month and were impressed by the way in which he embraced all aspects of his visit and by the academic potential. I was very proud and impressed by this letter."
شعور مختلط يعني منه فرحان إنه بدي أمن مستقبله ومنه يعني الفراق صعب شوي بس يعني بيهمني مستقبله إن شاء الله يكون ناجح ويفيد البشرية كلها.
The Horizon Foundation will fund Mohamad for 2 years of study. This is an amazing opportunity, but leaving home is a huge step for both him and his family. Eton is one of the world's most prestigious schools and is famous for its high-achieving students. Tradition plays a large role here, from the formal uniform of black tails to eccentric annual events. It costs nearly $50,000 a year to attend Eton. 1 in 5 of the pupils receives assistance, and for the scholarship boys like Mohamad, expectations are high. The school is divided into 25 boarding houses, with about 50 boys in each. Mohamad's new home will be Wainfleet, run by housemaster Richard Pratt, and Jane Stevens, known as the Dame.
Hello, sir. How are you? Nice to see you again. Yeah. Hi, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Put your laptop for you there.
Yeah, thank you.
And the bag's down there. And then there's your uniform and the box which you need to unpack.
Here?
Tails
Yeah.
behind the door. And then there's the sheet of paper here which I've done for all the new boys, so gives you an idea where to put things.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just a routine day. We will have supper 7:30, press 8:15.
Yeah.
You know all of that.
Well, it's ethical whether you should use an animal or not, whether you should use mammals and how they should be used.
Mohamad is studying for A-levels, a 2-year exam course which will determine which university he gets into.
I'm doing double math, physics, chemistry, and biology, and I'm doing Arabic outside the timetable. And many boys in the house told me that doing double math and 3 sciences may be the toughest work in Eton.
Are they asleep? Don't move that until they're asleep.
They are asleep, I think so. Fruity flies. Small, very small, with red eyes and different wings. That's really weird. Doing lots of practicals is interesting, but at the same time, I found it very difficult. Yesterday, it was the first time for me to use the microscope. I was really confused. I don't know what to do.
Oh, one just took off. One just took off.
By the end of this first year, Mohamad will be sitting his AS exams, 50% of his final grades.
Right, gentlemen, we need to clear away.
So, does it contain pork?
No, it's a beef.
Okay, thank you very much.
What do you think of the food?
It's really different. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes I don't like it because.
Let's be honest, the best food here is in your room, what is it? Plama. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's the best food we have in the house.
Mohamad isn't just adapting to a new school. Becoming an Etonian means getting to grips with a whole host of traditions that even British boys might find curious. Like the school's celebration of St Andrew's Day.
Do we have a celebration like St Andrew's Day?
We do a much bigger day at the very end of May.
Yeah, this is the 4th of June.
It's called the 4th of June,
yeah.
but it's almost always at the very end of May. In the same way that our St Andrew's Day holiday isn't on St Andrew's Day. In the same way that the colour known as Eton blue isn't really blue, it's more green. It's a very English way of looking at the world, just slightly off-centre.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Today, Mohamad is watching the wall game, one of the stranger sports that is only played at Eton.
This is the college field now, and you can see the boys sitting on the wall. They have to take the ball and raise it from the ground, and this is like a goal in a football game. This is the first official celebration in Eton I've had, and now I'll watch the whole game, and I have to understand its rules. When I first arrived to my house, I was a bit homesick. Coming to a boarding school is much more different. We have rules, time for sleeping, time to wake up. Living with new boys, sleeping alone in my room is really different.
And it's difficult for Mohamad during Eid, the first time he's been away from home for this festival.
بعد ما خلص العيد عندكم هسه. يعني بحب أكون معكم بس هيك الظروف. Yeah, I was a bit sad in this Eid and homesick because being far from my family, from my brothers, it's a bit difficult, really. This was the first snow experience for me, during which I built a snowman. I did not imagine it as pure and as soft as I found it. It's a new experience.
It's been a testing term. But already, Mohamad has come a long way.
He's done very well indeed. His maths and his physics, he's performing at a very high level. There has been some anxiety at times that he's doing a course that assumed a certain amount of background knowledge that he didn't have. But he's worked very hard to fill those gaps.
2, 3,
I'd actually quite like him to get away from the desk a little bit and to maybe try his hand at a few other things. And it's a strange thing for a teacher to be saying, but actually not work quite so hard.
This is the schoolyard of Eton College. This is the statue of Henry VI, the person who established Eton. So he is our founder, and all people here are very proud of him. This is the chapel of Eton.
Eton's Gothic chapel is central to school life. There's a service almost every day, and boys of all faiths attend.
Going to chapel was one of the main differences I have experienced in Eton. As a Muslim, I haven't been to a church in Lebanon, but I was excited to go to discover what do other people from different cultures do. The boys in the school treated me as one of them, but nevertheless, many people think that Islam is a violent religion, and I'm against this idea. So I think it's my duty to try to change these ideas.
Mohamad is not the only Muslim in the school, and on Sundays they meet together with an imam.
I think what will happen is that the Islamic world will actually find its own sense of self-confidence through democracy.
Do you think this will lead to unity between Arabs and Muslims? I mean, like...
Why not? I just think it's just an amazing moment.
Mr. Pratt is very musical and he loves playing many instruments. He told me that I can reach my soul through music, and this is something new that I heard from him. Today is the school concert and I'm singing in it. We started practicing at the beginning of this half and I really enjoyed it. It's the first singing experience for me. The piece of music is called Refugee by Fahed.
It's been a formative term for Mohamad, who's heading home for Easter, and the Requiem is a fitting end.
He's been busy, he's flourishing, and it's having an impact on his academic work as well, which was always strong and is getting stronger. I'm very fortunate to have a house filled with musicians. He's taken part in this extraordinary occasion, and I think he's coming around to my way of thinking, that actually it is part of what makes us who we are.
This is my exam table. I have 14 exams this year, which is massive, I think, compared to many other boys in my year. This is the first public exams for me in the country. I want to do well. I'm preparing, I think, well.
This term is dominated by exams, but the boys do get a morning off to watch the wedding of the year.
Watching a royal wedding from the country that it's being in is very exciting.
Oh, she's amazing! I love you!
It was a great wedding in a very nice area in London, but it was very long as well. Generally, I'm not really keen on kingdoms and monarchies. What makes the royal family better than other people in the world?
Mohamad has had a busy few weeks, but finally it's his last exam today.
Now I'm not very nervous, but this is the last minute revision. When I was in Lebanon, I was the top of the class, and now here I'm like any other student, so I have to do well. Well, this week was very tiring for me. I had 5 exams from Monday until Friday today, so I had to do lots of revision, especially in the last 2 days. I think the difficult period has passed now.
With exams over, Mohamad can enjoy the English summer.
So when you go like that and you put your arm down, that's where you want the ball to go. Try again.
When I bowl and he bats and someone catches the ball, you mean, so he will be out?
Yeah.
Okay.
If the ball didn't bounce, yeah. Do you want to have a go at batting?
That's it.
Come on, Mohamad.
I can't see very well, actually. Yeah, bowling is nice, but I think I have to get the hang of it. Like,
Eton's most famous annual event is called the 4th of June and commemorates the birthday of George III. It's a reminder of the privileged education that the boys receive.
There's a slight danger that they may pass through Eton with the notion that they are more special really than they are, because it is an unusual place which has a lot of cultural baggage and historical baggage. So actually, probably more important is that while they appreciate and recognise the opportunity they have, they don't go away thinking they're too special.
I met many boys who were really friendly with me, and I discovered after that they are from very elite families in the country, and they are not really arrogant about their backgrounds. So it's one of the things that makes me more confident in the school.
Eton has a long tradition of rowing, and the day's highlight is watching the time-honoured procession of boats.
The procession of boats started in 1793, and it is certainly today a wonderful spectacle, not least thanks to the hats so carefully and lovingly prepared by the boys' dames.
They are really nice, I enjoyed them. Well, I've seen boys rowing before, but it's a special thing today because they are wearing these special suits with the hats, the funny hats with the flowers. It's really nice.
With his first year nearing an end, Mohamad visits the family that has funded his scholarship.
Thank you, nice to see you, nice to see you.
He's just one of 40 international students that they have helped.
You sort of lose a little bit of faith and a little bit of hope in terms of the whole political process ever reaching any sort of positive resolution, at least in our lifetime. And so you do what you can. And I mean, you try and empower young people, and you hope that they will then improve the lives of people in their community. In terms of the long term, I mean, do you see yourself going back to Lebanon, or do you see yourself staying around here? Or
It's my aim to return back to Lebanon. You do. Yeah, I want to study here and then go back to Lebanon, try to help my people. I mean, Palestinians who live in camps, they really suffer from very bad conditions. So I think it's the duty of people who had chances like me to go back and help changing these bad conditions for people.
Mohamad's applying to study engineering at university, but it's one of the professions that he can't practice in Lebanon because he's a Palestinian refugee.
Every time I think about my future, I find that the situation is an obstacle in front of me. But I have to work hard, even if I find obstacles in my way.
It's the end of term, and Wainfleet is packing up.
So there's nothing else to go in at the moment?
Mohamad has been invited on a trip to Europe with some of the boys. before he heads home to Lebanon.
I don't know who's more excited, actually.
I'm very excited.
I know you are, but we are too for you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it'll be great.
Yeah, you're off now.
Okay.
Right, have a safe journey.
Good one, sir. Thank you, and enjoy your summer.
It's been a great year.
Bye-bye, man.
Have a great summer, and we'll see you in September.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة. I think my experience here broadened my mind. I became more confident, more thoughtful, and more aware about what's happening in the world. And I reached a point in between my old culture and this culture. But I am Mohamad. I'm still Mohamad. I'm still Palestinian. And I think my experience made me more conscious about helping other people.
That was more than 6 years ago, and I'm sure you're wondering, what's happened to Mohamad? Well, I'm pleased to say that he is joining us now from our London studio. Great to see you, Mohamad. So as we've mentioned, you graduated from Eton in 2012. What's happened since?
I was very fortunate to be awarded another scholarship by the Horizon Foundation to continue my studies at UCL in London. I was awarded a job offer in London at a global engineering consultancy called Mott MacDonald, where I've been working for more than a year now.
What sort of projects are you working on there?
I've been mainly working on two projects. The first one is a road expansion in the US, actually. After that, I started working on a huge scheme in London called Crossrail 2, and the aim is to build a new railway that connects West London with Northeast London.
Do you have any plans of going back to Lebanon or even going to Palestine?
The reality at the moment is that as a Palestinian, I'm deprived from the right of return to Palestine because of the Israeli occupation. The United Nations has reaffirmed our right as Palestinians to go back to our home countries every single year. Since 1948, since my grandparents were kicked out, the United Nations Resolution 194 affirmed our right to go back, but we've never been allowed to go. My grandmother, who was featured in this documentary, passed away 2 years ago without achieving her dream of going back. So in terms of going to Lebanon, I love Lebanon because my parents are there. I miss them, they miss me. But the problem is that as Palestinians in Lebanon, we're deprived from many civil rights. We are not allowed to work in more than 20 professions. Me, as a civil engineer, I wouldn't be able to practice in Lebanon. Many of my friends who have graduated from university have actually gone back to Lebanon, and at the moment they are still unemployed.
And so where is home for you now, and how does your family feel that this has so far been a one-way journey for you?
My dream is to be back in Palestine, and the ultimate goal of a home is actually Palestine. But at the same time, I still have my childhood memories of Lebanon. I love Lebanon because I grew up there. My family is there. The UK, on the other hand, has provided me with life-changing opportunities. I spent the formative years of my life here. I made many friends. I made work connections. So I will always have the connection. But home will continue to be in the back of my mind, Palestine.
Well, thank you very much, Mohamad, for joining us and telling us about your life now. Well, that's it for this week. You can find lots of other specially selected films on the Rewind page of the Al Jazeera website. But for now, until next time, goodbye.